you didn't know already, Thursdays are artsy, so we have book review for you. The title today, My Refreshing Thanksgiving Experience, a gratitude journal by Nena Samobioha, an experienced customer care service and customer experience professional. She will be joining us to talk more about this piece.
Of course. My book. Where is my book? And of course, we love our arts on Thursdays. And for art display, we have Agbabiaka Sherifuddin, a visual artist who is also into performing arts, textile design, and mixed media. He will be joining us for a mini arts exhibition.
Welcome, Thursday edition here for Wake Up Nigeria. Are you guys excited about this first Thursday, Archie Thursday? Yeah.
Yeah.
So something occurred to me just only a couple of days ago. I was buying fuel and I bought it for 250 naira a liter. And I filled up my tank and then I went and it was like normal. And that's the problem. It felt too normal. I think we've all just accepted that this is the way it's going to be for the rest of 2023. I don't know if I'm the only one who feels that way.
But it is what it is. What can you do? I mean, you need the fuel. You generate your own electricity. So you are thinking of buying your jerry can and all of that to get back home. You need to move around. So
you need to get to
and
work.
Then for those who use ride-share services, I know that
Wow,
over the period,
the surges.
the rates have been above, as in like you are looking at someone's phone, someone wants to go to the island, and there's no traffic. 5K.
Really?
9,000 with that's
9,000?
with this thing, oh,
Wow.
with promo.
Wow.
So like that's like 10%
13
off promo. I'm serious.
At a point in
I
December.
saw
Are you serious?
I saw some crazy
Did you get
fares.
to Abeokuta?
I saw
Just
some.
VI,
I
not
did.
even-
I did see some crazy,
VI.
very crazy fares. Outrageous.
But
At
it's-
Magolo to Maryland, someone was paying 7,000.
But you know, it's worrying
There
when you
was some
say,
outrageous
what
fares.
can you do? Because that's just simply, it feels so Nigerian.
But it is.
what
It
do you
is.
want to
But
do,
but
really?
it is.
That's
It
not
is.
what's really
It
you
is.
want
I
to
mean,
do.
considering.
I think
see, the
businesses
myriad of
and individuals have to start taking, making options. One, for businesses, I mean, if anything, the pandemic taught us was that we have options and that you can actually work from home. I know there are plenty of services where you can actually now work remotely, but I think it now has to really be considered to extend these. I don't know, but that's the only solution. At least that's one solution, because nobody's going to increase your salary at the end of every month. I was looking at a very funny meme. It was a monkey biting a balloon, and the meme was like me, the monkey, and then the balloon was the salary.
Yes, I
And
saw it.
He bit into the balloon and then poof,
and
And
that
he
is
was
why
and he was like,
wondering, where did he go?
where did it go?
and that is why I'll give
Where did he
kudos to
go?
people, to entrepreneurs. I mean, they are.
They find a way
look, you
around
are a
it.
special breed. If you're doing business in Nigeria, you are a special breed, because it's like everything is out there to get you.
Yeah.
It's almost like you are fighting against everything. Is there any
You're
like
fighting
chill
against
time?
everything and competition. Personal experience from only yesterday. My wife sends me a message. She says she's very sad. I'm like, why are you sad? She says this contract she's been chasing for a very long time and was very positive. All of a sudden just slipped through her fingers. Why? Because another competitor charged way less, or was charging a fee way less, and she knows that this competitor can't do the job. But the client, however, is looking for ways to cut costs,
down.
and then will just go for the wishy-washy one.
And of course, and when they do that, they probably have to run back. When they,
But
I mean,
only
they learn
after
from their
it's-
mistakes. Only when
Only
it's,
after everything's gone
but
down.
right about now, I mean, let's check the weather and see what that's like today.
Maybe that's nice.
Mike Mexicano, it's the news on Wake Up Nigeria. Now, the Department of State Services has arrested the mastermind of last Thursday's attack near the palace of a traditional ruler of Ebira land. In a statement by the spokesman of the service, Peter Afonaya, said an ISWAP commander Abdul Mumumin Ibrahim Otaru is responsible for the vehicle-borne improvised explosive device that went off near the palace of the Ohinoi of Ebira land in Kogi State. He and his associate, one Saidu Suleiman, are being treated for gunshot wounds after they were arrested by operatives of the service on Tuesday. According to the statement, the ISWAP commander was also behind other attacks, including the attack on the police area command in Eika, Ohizenyi in Okehi local government, local council of the state on June the 24th last year, where Police Inspector Idris Musa was killed and 2 AK-47 rifles carted away. The statement adds that the terror kingpin operated terrorist cells in and around Kogi State. Earlier, we spoke with a security expert, Captain Bish Johnson. Plans to scamper the general election by removing the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, from office was unsuccessful on Wednesday as High Court of the Federal Capital Territory quashed the allegation of false asset declaration against him. In his ruling, Justice M.A. Hassan, in his judgment, consequently barred security agencies from investigating the INEC chief over his valid assets declaration. The judgment was in respect of an originating summons filed by Sumadina Uzuabaka against the Attorney General of the Federation and Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. The petition also sought an order of a court stopping the INEC chairman from holding or assuming any public office for a period of 10 years. Professor Yakubu, who in his response to the allegations furnished the court with several exhibits to show the sources of money for the purchase of the properties which the petitioner alleged were illegally acquired, and insisted that his asset declarations were validly done. The judge, Justice M.A. Hassan, found that the declaration of assets by Professor Yakubu was lawful, valid, and in compliance with the law, and that he cannot be investigated by any of the security agencies listed by the claimant that should all investigate him. Now, in preparation for the forthcoming elections, INEC has received the last consignment of bimodal voter accreditation machines. The Commission's chairman, Professor Yakubu, national commissioners, and senior officials were at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja to receive the BVAs. To facilitate the smooth delivery of the machines, the Commission created 4 airport hubs in Abuja, Kano, Lagos, and Port Harcourt. Over the last 4 months, several flights delivered the BVAs to the designated airports for movement to states ahead of the elections. With the arrival of the last flight in Abuja, the Commission has now taken delivery of the required number of the BVAs for all the polling units in the country. And then on to foreign news. At least 35 people have been killed in a double-car bombing in the central Hiran province of Somalia. 2 cars packed with explosives were simultaneously detonated in Mahas, a town where a major offensive was launched last year against the Al-Qaeda-linked militant group. The militant group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack. The district commissioner of Mahas town said his home and that of a local MP were targets. Deputy Commissioner of Hishabelle State, Hassan Kafi Mohammed Ibrahim, said most of the dead are civilians, mostly women and children. Al-Shabaab has been losing ground in recent months after President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud pledged total war against the Islamist militants in August following an attack on a popular Mogadishu hotel, which saw more than 20 people die.
Thursday, let's do the headlines. If you pick up a paper this morning, these are the headlines you are likely to meet with. Let's start from the Nation newspaper for a Thursday. And right off the bat, in front you find Tinubu Shatima APC chiefs shut down Kano. You can find a photo story there. The photo story showing the activities that went on. Ex-Lagos governor promises to serve Nigerians. Progressive governors will deliver at polls, says Bagudu. At the top for the Nation, CBN 1.355 trillion naira Polaris Bank sale most competitive offer, and Akinjide Oyelese Bolarumi in walk for Atiku. Air Force redeploys branch chiefs, AOCs, and NDDC barred from awarding contract above limit. At the very bottom of the page, EFCC secures 3.785 convictions. New Peng threatens strike. Not what you want to hear at the start of the year. Let's move on now to our next daily, and that will be the Daily Trust for a Thursday. And the first headline you would find states FCT to spend over 11.5 trillion naira in 2023. Projections merely yearly rituals, experts say, and banks others must be wary granting loans to outgoing governors. At the bottom of the page, another photo story there from the rally in Kano. Let's move on to our very next daily this morning, and of course that will be the Guardian newspaper. Front and center for the Guardian, debt service gulps 80.6% of 2022 revenues. FG seeks fresh 8.8 trillion loans. Lawmakers severance others to cost 228 0.1 billion naira, and FG to fund a 553.46 billion naira budget gap with spectrum fees, maritime tax. It goes on with this one still. Only 1.88 billion naira released for capital projects as at November 2023. Look at the top stories. Petroleum tanker drivers threaten a nationwide strike. Oh, wow. I didn't know that they were still at work. U.S. House in chaos after Kevin McCarthy loses speaker votes, and Nigeria records 35 fresh COVID-19 cases. It's on the rise. Be careful out there. Mbaka's return excites Enugu faithfuls, and at the bottom, foreign airlines kick fault return of ineffective COVID-19 travel protocols, and disruption in flight operations as ground handler collides with aircraft in Lagos. Let's move on now to our final newspaper for the morning, and that will be, let's see, hang on a second there. Oh, I got it all mixed up for a minute. The Punch newspaper this morning. We have these headlines here for you. Discos hike electricity tariff secretly, and consumers kick. Did you know? Consumers accuse discos of fleecing Nigerians, operators, and the NERC silent. Discos began new tariffs January 1st. There are other arbitrary increments, say ECAN. At the top for the Punch, and NNPC prospects for oil in Niger and Borno, and Nigerians' debt to hit 77 trillion naira loan servicing gulps 5.2 trillion naira, and 25 buyers invited for Polaris Bank sale, say the CBN. At the very bottom, elections. INEC set aside 8,809 BVAS as backup, and field marketers once again boycott private depots. And Sextron principal denies cover-up, suspends 6 students, and 2.74 trillion naira security budget low, say the reps panel. And that's all the headlines we can cover for this morning. Do pick up a paper, and if you'd like to comment on any of these, do send us a hashtag using Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. Would love to read and comment. Stay tuned. We've got more coming your way for a Thursday.
Welcome. You're still watching Wake Up Nigeria, and we're right here in the kitchen, and it's time for some coffee gist. Just that the coffee
Let's just call it what's up and about.
is missing.
What's happening?
Okay, so I came across a video. Actually, my dad actually sent this video to our family group, and he was sharing his worries about the whole situation of Nigerians or relocating and things like that.
Immigration.
Right, immigration generally. And okay, the video was basically about, it was a news report actually, actually highlighting the fact that come September 2023, it will be compulsory for students in primary school now to take relationship lessons or to take a relationship course. So now this is British, Britain, right? And all of that. And that relationship course may or may not include same-sex marriages and transgender issues. So now there was, I won't call it a debate, but a mother literally had to pull her kid out of the school that already started taking those courses because she felt it wasn't necessary for all of that.
A British mother.
Yeah, this is a British, a black British mother. She actually so her own defense, she was speaking from the point of being a Christian and how she thinks it is not right and all of that. So they were talking about how this actually promotes inclusivity and also helps the children build tolerance to emerging issues in society and things like that. So I really like to know what you guys think. So for me, I think what struck me, fine, the topic is one thing, but now the age of introduction to these kind of things is something that was actually quite major for me. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, well, the thing is, for me personally, I'm going to look at it from the perspective of most Nigerians wanting to immigrate outside the country.
Yeah.
While most Nigerians are thinking that education is priority for their children, which is something, if you're a father, you're thinking, oh, education is better outside. You're going to immigrate because of your kid. And then it's like as if you are now exposing them to some of the things that are not absolutely African. If you are a traditional African with African cultures and virtues, these are not topics or instances that you want to expose.
As you know, in these days and time, I will beg to differ.
Well, let me land sharp. But the thing is,
Do you go out in Lagos?
Do I go what?
Out in Lagos.
No.
Okay.
See, and that is another conversation.
Gone are the days that
That's
as a
another
fine girl,
I
you
agree
dress up
with
and
you.
go out. That you'll be bothered, you'll be like, oh, please, oh, the drinks keep coming up. But now?
But in any case, so for me, I had this instance where a friend told me that, guy, you guys think it's easy out here. And he tells me that he was invited to his kid's school and he told him that, sir, you are infringing on the right of your child because you are insisting that he should be a boy all his life. You should let him be a free thinker and stuff like that. And the guy says, sorry, my Pekin. He went all African. My child, you're telling me that I can't, that I'm infringing. These are cultures, these are virtues. This is where I want to bring up my child. So consideration for people who are thinking about immigrating. Are these factors you want to expose your children to? Is this a consideration you should also include in your process or your mind, well, whatever makes you conclude that you want to immigrate?
Yes.
You know, that's a concern for me. These are concerns, you know, for me personally.
Definitely. Yeah, just like you have a family WhatsApp group also?
Yeah.
Which people are nuclear extended?
No, not extended.
We have
definitely.
nuclear. We have extended. We
Different one.
we now have nuclear extended.
Too
We
many.
now have nuclear
White
immediate.
noise.
That's 5 groups. Okay,
Forget
so
to.
when
You didn't say that post of if there's a family group and then there's another family and you're not on the other family group,
that's
you
what
are
I'm
the
saying.
annoying family
But let's
member.
just-
But that's not
point?
the issue.
then I will have that for some other day. This family WhatsApp groups, but yeah. But my point is, if you know, there is a great percentage of kids in these climes who are homeschooled, and parents choose
True.
to do that.
Very true.
And that is because they probably disagree. They might have reasons. My professional reasons might be we don't have the time to take them there.
Yes.
But then a lot of people say I don't like the curriculum that is being used in these places, and so you have a lot of. It's not strange to be homeschooled up to a particular age, and then maybe college and all of that. So, look, it is what it is. The point is that we are in the information era. We're in the age of information. So, first of all, break this curriculum down. What are they going to be taught? Are they going to be taught that it's something that is there, or are they
Yes.
going to
Is it going to in depth? Exactly. So now,
you know,
yes,
so
that
but if
matters
you
as
so
well.
that's one. Find out what it is. If it's about information and knowledge, maybe yes. If not, homeschool.
Yeah, well, how would
But then
you-
again, I'm talking about homeschooling now, considering the fact that a lot of Nigerian parents moving outside, immigrating that way
They're
now.
going to work.
They're going to work.
Exactly, that's
And we
what
know,
I'm saying. They're going to work.
and you know there,
going to work.
services like that are very
Very
expensive.
expensive.
I've got
Yeah.
friends who are
So-
outside who have to have 2 jobs just to keep the family going.
keep the
So where's the
family going.
time to
And now,
come
considering
home
the
and-
level of
True.
education as well, primary school, and we all know in
Yeah.
Britain, like, primary school is mostly free. So as
You're
a
gonna take
parent,
advantage of that.
do you understand? You're
Don't
going to
take
take advantage of that. Yeah, are you going to
right.
tell them what to teach in their free? Yeah, it's free. So
That's
just
much to
sit
be
down,
considered,
just-
you know, as a family or as a father or parent.
immigrating.
But in any case, tell us what you think. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Would love to know, and then we could comment or maybe even use it on our next conversation. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
They right here in the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen, and of course we have Chef Shebril Timor here with us, bringing in the vibe. Hey, Happy New Year! I'm not saying you this year. How's it been now? How was December celebration?
Dirty.
Hey, Detsy.
Really rock it, well,
She
you know.
said Detsy. Wow.
You know, back to work.
Back to work
The
right
vibes
now.
has
It has this thing.
That's
now.
it,
For
for this-
2023, what's the plan?
vibes and hard working. Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Keep moving.
Keep moving.
Yes, sir.
we move.
We
Okay, so now
move.
tell me, what exactly are we making today?
You know, we have eaten a lot of
December.
December
Dirty December food.
As in now, we are eating village rice.
Village rice.
We have
okay.
eaten different kind of rice there, but for the new year,
The New Year.
as a normal, we are going back to our normal,
normal,
healthy food. So
yes.
we are eating
Village rice. Okay, so now tell me, what do we need
how
to
do we
bring
go
this?
about it?
Exactly, how do we go about it? What ingredients do we need first of all?
yes, our red oil.
Okay.
This is our rice. If you get the pomo, fish, different kind of fizzy fish. This is it. This is
Okay.
our Titus, our green peas,
Okay.
onions, crayfish, green pepper, then our mixed pepper.
Okay, so now tell me, what is in this mix? What do we mix here?
This is tomato, onions, crayfish, ginger, rodo, the cherry pepper,
Okay.
the mixed pepper.
Just mixed pepper,
Then
right? Pepper
our
mix.
plantain will now
For the sides. On
to
the
garnish
sides,
it,
To
you know?
garnish it. Okay, so I
have to-
noticed you fried the fish. What did you marinate? I'm always confused sometimes about fish. What exactly to use to marinate the fish? So do we use salt? No.
Yes.
Or we just fry straight?
no, use salt to make it sweet.
To make it tasty. abi?
Depending on what you want, you can use different kind of spice to spice it up. But I just use fish.
It's just salt. Because I mean, fish its own has flavor now.
It has
So we don't
flavor,
need
you know, when you want it to be more,
more
you know,
juicy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now tell me, how exactly are we making this village rice?
Yes.
What's the
village
process?
is the process of making the village after parboiling our rice.
Yes.
Then our red oil goes into it. Our pepper, as you prepare a sauce.
Sauce, okay.
So instead of for you to bring the sauce and put on the rice, we now mix it
Mix
together.
it together.
You know, you are supposed to use groundnut oil as usual, but we are using red oil. That makes it the village rice.
That one usually takes it down to the village. Yeah, and I give it that. But I notice sometimes when you use palm oil to cook rice, it gives you that dry feeling. So what can we do to make it moist?
Sometimes it's the oil. It's the
Okay.
oil that gives you that
dry, yes.
So it depends on the kind of red oil you are using.
Oh, really?
I don't over bleach it so much.
Okay, that's me. I bleach it until it's white.
You have taken the whole of the nutrients.
All the nutrients out, right? Just a little.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that
Like
it's
now,
not-
I am going to use this red oil to fry this plantain.
Oh,
So we are
that's
getting
another. That's why you see. That's why we like you, because you just give us different this new year.
So that's the way to go now.
That's the way
This
to go now.
2023.
Yes.
Because I have to move
Just
and
have
make
to
new
move
things.
and make new
Common things in a common way.
Common thing.
Yeah,
That's it.
that.
Make common things in an uncommon way. That's the
Yeah.
word for the day. Take it or leave it. Okay, in case you're just joining
There
us,
we
we're
go.
making village right here with Chef Shebritumo, and of course we have our ingredients here. Of course we have rice, we have some fish, we have some palm oil, we have onions, we have peas, crayfish, green pepper. Here we have assorted pomo fish and all manner of mede. And of course we have our pepper blend here as well. We have plantain, we'll be frying on the side. So I'm going to let Chef Shebritumo do all her cooking while we have a very interesting conversation with Mike on the couch.
I like the way you say Mama. Winfrey, say it again.
Mama.
Mama. Just kidding there, hi. Okay, so it's time for us to have a book chat. And for today, we're reviewing a book, My Refreshing Thanksgiving Experience. It's a gratitude journal by Nnenna Samobioha, an experienced customer care service and customer experience professional. Now, it's great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Incidentally, I know, yes, it says a journal. So while I just browsed through, I saw a lot of empty pages. I was like, okay, wait, it's actually a journal. And that's why it's this way. But it says, My Refreshing Thanksgiving Experience. First of all, why should anybody give thanks? Why do you think it is important to give thanks?
I think more often than not, a lot of us focus on what is not working. And we take for granted the things that are working. Now, why it's important to give thanks is because for every time you give thanks, it reminds you of the things that are working that you might take for granted. And so in our society today, we see that a number of people are besieged by depression, anxiety, and all of that. And that's because the focus has shifted from the things that are working well. More often than not, you find out that 90% of things in your life are working well. And then you begin to highlight, your mind begins to highlight only the 10% that is not working. And so the essence of Thanksgiving is to remind you of the beautiful things that are happening in your life whilst you work at achieving the other 10% that are not already working for you. And so that's the importance. I pride myself in my ability to be positive regardless of challenges. And I've seen positivity help me fight challenges. I've seen positivity help me through life challenges. I lost my father last year, for instance. So 2021, this is a new year.
This is a new year.
In 2021, I lost my mother-in-law in a space of two months, right? And so I was dealing with grief. My husband was also dealing with grief. In addition to dealing with a busy career, dealing with 3 children, dealing with the hustle and bustle of Lagos. So you'll agree with me that that's a lot to deal with.
It is
and there's some
quite a lot.
other things that I can't even share here. But then I found that gratitude took me from that place. And that's why This book is not your typical journal that you find on the shelf that is just empty pages all through.
All through.
I shared my 7-day Thanksgiving experience, and I saw how that took me from a place of being sad, feeling like some of my expectations were not met, to being genuinely grateful. And I saw testimonies come
All
through
through.
for me. Yes.
Okay, so you have a 7-day. It's just for 7 days.
Exactly.
Chapter in the 7th day, you're talking about business. Does each one cover a different aspect of life?
Of my life, yes, it
of
does.
Your life?
It does.
How can somebody glean from that to help them in their own life?
Okay, so in this book, you don't only find my experiences, you also find the templates that I've shared that
Okay.
can guide you through your Thanksgiving journal. So, for instance, there are relatable stories, there are relatable experiences you would see. And so for your career, for instance, what are you grateful for? There are a lot of people on the streets who give anything to be where you are. For your business, for instance, I'm 34 years old. I have 3 businesses at the moment. I have a job, and I've written a book, you know. And so it goes to show you the power of your mind, the things that your mind can do when you begin to appreciate the little things that you do. And I shared something on LinkedIn yesterday, and I said that the only impediment to our succeeding is fear. Faith is risk. And so the moment you begin to see beyond your small circle, you see how much power is available to you. And I said, since the point where I began to give thanks, I became more adventurous and more innovative. I wrote this book, I pushed out this book in October, in 1 week. And I have other articles. I've been writing actively for the past 1 year. I have other articles. Anybody who knows me would have thought that the first thing I would have written would have been on relationships or on customer experience.
Okay.
Because I have numerous articles on those.
On
but
those
then
ones.
God said to me, push out this book. And since I wrote it, the testimonies that people have shared with me have been incredible. In fact, if you look at social media in the month of December, you see that on the mouth of pastors, on the mouth of celebrities, everyone is talking about gratitude. Everyone is talking about Thanksgiving. It just goes to show you how much power is available to us when we yield to the voice of God that is on the inside of all of us, and how much we, so I pushed out this book in October, and then in December, Thanksgiving became a thing. Everybody's talking about gratitude. So it looks like every year end, there's a theme for every year. But in the year 2020, it was gratitude.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So now, after your experiences, which you put into 7 chapters and all of that, there's a conclusion, and then you get into the journal. Now, how can one use this journal to get the best out of it?
Okay, so to use it to get the best, I think that as humans, we learn better when we see relatable stories, right?
Okay.
If you read my story, and then I also made sure to put my Instagram handle, because beyond just having this journal as something that you can use on a day-to-day basis, you also need to also see how these things have played out in the lives of common people who are not celebrities yet. You see how these things play out, and you see how these things have manifested. So how do you use it in your day-to-day? Writing is therapeutic. Beyond my sharing my experiences, I realized that for every single time I think about things, I'm having a stressful day, and I put pen to paper, I find that it distresses me. And so that's what it does.
So when you writing, that's what you're saying, and then you ensure that you said pen to paper. So we are in an era where people are moving into the digital writing. I mean, people are typing on their phones and all that. Some people don't even know how their handwriting looks like after a while. But with this, you are encouraging actual writing with your hands.
Yes, because what happens is a lot of times when you lose your phone, for instance, and say you weren't backing up, you would always go back to this. As they say, as the Bible says, write the vision. Put it on plain tablets, that he may run that reads it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it may tarry, wait for it. It will come to pass.
Okay, wonderful. Now, this morning, incidentally, there's this post I shared on Instagram, and it was talking about the guts to fail, and understanding that when you are trying things, especially if you're doing new things, you might learn by failing and all of that. How does this come in if you are in that process? Now, you made mention that some people could have 90% of things working in their favor, but there are also times when people have 90% not working in their favor, when majority of it is not working in their favor. How can one be optimistic? Because as at that time, somebody might say, I'm a realist, and that might shift toward pessimism. How can one be optimistic in that scenario where you are in the process of failing, or much more of it is not working at that time?
All right, so the only time you can actually appreciate the opportunities that are available for you goes back to that place of taking risk. And risk is also born out of faith. I read an article that Ibukun Awoshika put out. I read it on Nairametrics. And what she said is, we live in an environment where there are opportunities available to us, and the opportunities are staring us in the face, but it's looking for people who are bold and confident enough to take it on. All right? And so for someone who you say is pessimistic, has only 90% of things working, I don't think those people exist. And I'll tell you why. The reason they don't exist is, first of all, the fact that you can breathe is a huge opportunity. And so if you have life, it means that you have another opportunity at life. I saw a post this morning by, it was Stephanie Linus, and she posted that in November. I just saw it today, where she said, good morning, the morning is God's way of telling you that you can try again. I'm not saying it in the exact words, but that's what it is. And so if you are feeling pessimistic, right, it's because you haven't taken time to actually journal the things that are working in your life.
All right, we get that. So it's about journaling, my refreshing Thanksgiving experience, a gratitude journal. So all that should be here is looking for the things that are working and
yes, you can
journaling.
also write your notes, like your thoughts, your dreams, your goals, everything. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
You might want to tell the users where they can get it, where to buy us. Yeah.
Oh, you have on your social media? Look how
Yes,
we can
yes.
get it.
Light shining in the dark.
All right.
Yes,
Oh,
there's a
okay.
link in my bio where they can click to buy. And then they can also see the other things I'm doing. I created an app recently for service providers, and I think that that's something everyone will benefit from.
All right. Thank you. Hope you're able to pick up something there. It's about refreshing. It's about giving thanks. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. There's quite a lot more to come on the show.
Welcome back into the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen. I'm still here with Chef Shebu Timor, and we're making our native rice.
Village rice.
Yeah, village and native, what's the difference? Village rice, native rice, what's the difference? Okay, village rice, right? And of course, we're having fried plantain on the side. But today, Chef Shebu Timor, as usual, is giving us a different new spicy recipe where we're actually frying our plantain with palm oil.
So sweet.
So sweet,
Have you
right?
eaten it before?
I've not tried this before,
Today we
but I should try it. It's making me want to eat akara. I don't know why, but
with red oil.
yes, now red oil.
Yes,
Hey, I
yes.
like that one. I actually like it with red oil.
A village girl.
I tell you, yeah. So from the roots.
You are not looking like one. Oh.
Yeah, that's
Now posh.
Yes, now you
Yeah.
package it. The village is inside. So we have our rice here getting boiled, right? Before we start mixing together. So now this village rice is very, very
Looking interesting.
It's looking interesting. It's a foreign village rice because I'm seeing green pepper
You know,
and peas.
you know, for people like you,
But-
that are boys,
Ah.
you're not telling me, oh my gosh,
Oh my gosh.
let me put this to swag it up.
To swag it up. Interesting. See, I say every time, what I love about cooking is that you can literally do it any way you want.
And you're fine.
And you're
As far as
okay.
it's sweet.
As long as it's sweet. And as you can eat it, you're not poisoning yourself. I mean, what else?
And you're eating healthy.
You're eating healthy.
Oil is very good.
Palm oil, of course,
So,
red oil is very
plantain.
good.
So it's just like to now give us that color of red.
That red, yes now.
And after that, you go,
That's it. Shey we used to put this thing for jollof rice to be red, so
you know, I'm supposed to
fine.
put locust beans.
locust beans.
Only that I forgot to bring it.
Forgot to
It have
bring
been
it.
So the whole of this day will have been. I didn't come with it. That's all.
Ah, that's why we love Chef Shebu more. She's a vibe every single time. In case you just joined us, as I said before, we're making village rice. And of course, our ingredients that we need to bring that to life are right here, staring us in the face. We have our onions already peeled, washed and sliced. Of course, we have our green peas. We have our, this crayfish. What's this thing that's on this like this?
Don't worry, secret of the recipe.
Hey,
Always want
secret.
to know.
Of course, we want to know now. Secret of the recipe, but it looks like some. It looks like some.
Powder, spices.
Yes, spices actually to
I'm trying
take
to
it.
schedule you like, you know. Like I said, come on to now, come with
Yes,
vibes.
yes, vibes on vibes.
2023.
Vibes
Positive
on vibes.
mind only.
Positive mind only. Oh yeah, now. So we have our green pepper as well. We have our fish, which is already fried here with a pinch of salt. We have our pepper mix for the rice as well. In here we have tomato, pepper. We have onions. We have. You say we have ginger here, Abby?
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Pepper.
pepper, yeah, we have ginger, and of course, just garnish it the way you want it to be, all right? Or just put whatever you want it to be in there to give it that taste. In this bowl, we have our pomo, we have our fish, different types of fish, that as well. Do it the way you want. I think, can we put chicken in this recipe as
Yes,
well?
now. You can put chicken, you can put meat, you can
put goat's meat.
Depending on your purse.
Depending
no,
on
we are
what-
trying to do pocket friendly. You should not do shape it more like my name. That's what I'm trying to.
So that's what we're trying to do, yeah? Okay, so, and of course, we have our plantain right here. Frying right there. So our first set is actually ready. Actually, it really looks really good. And as you said, the oil is not too bleached, which is actually really
Yes.
good. I'll definitely have to try that because I usually bleach my oil.
No, it's not
Like,
good. Bleaching oil is not, it's not healthy for
yes,
us.
I think to just reduce that color. Anyways, while we're still here putting this together, let's have another conversation on the couch right about now. I think Mazino is on that one.
Well, thank you very much, Winfrey. For Thursdays, it's always very artsy, and today we have a very, very special person here with us. And for art display, we have Agbabiaka Sherifdeen. He's a visual artist who is also into performance art, textile design, and mixed media. Now, I have with us here some of his artwork, which I'll be showing to you. But first, let's meet the man himself, Sherifdeen. You are welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
Now, your art is very different from anybody's art that I've had on the show here before, because your art is uniquely done with ink.
Yes.
And I find this very interesting. Let me show a piece here. Now, what you can see on cardboard this time is actually ink. We've got a number of them which we'll be showing to you in just a minute. But let me first ask you, Sherifdeen, what would you define your art as? What would you call it? What kind of art is it?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. This art is all about expressing my feelings. I'm the type that love expressing anything I see around me because of the environment I base on. Like where I stay now, I'm using this art piece to depict where I stayed before, the way they relate with each other. And once there is anything like riot, they will call each other to attention, that run away from people that are coming now. They are here to arrest you or to kidnap you.
That's very interesting.
So that's why
If
I
the
have
camera
this
can
art
see that,
piece.
that's a boy who's actually
Yes,
running away
he's
into
trying
the
to call
shanty.
others, run or go inside, just lock your door. That's a ghetto place. That's where I stayed before. So I
Well,
use that.
It's very interesting
depict
now
it.
because, like I said from before, it's ink. So do you actually pencil it out first before you start using the ink, or do you just visualize it and just start
No.
putting ink on paper?
The only thing I do is just to imagine and get some pictures of environment that I want to use, then add my own creativity to it. That's the only thing I do.
Talking about that environment, like this one that I displayed from earlier, these are calabash.
Yeah.
And also, I think some beads on there as well. How long does it take you to put something like this together?
At least a week.
A week.
Yes.
Okay, that's very interesting. And that's not the only one. The cultural nature of your art is very, very expressive, as can be seen on this one again. Now, there are certain signs on there. What are these signs exactly, and why did you choose to use them in this art piece?
Yes, I'm trying to let people know that I'm an African man. That's why I'm using this African motif to depict Africa. And the instrument there depicts what different human being is.
Oh, that's the shekere, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I get it.
If you look at that shekere, you will see that there is a bead on it to
Yes.
show that this person is a royal person. That is what I'm trying to depict there. And there's no how they are going to do what we call coronation. There will be what we call drum
Yeah.
and different
Dance, music, and culture.
Yes.
That tells a lot. That tells, how do people embrace your work? When they see it, what's the first thing that comes to their mind?
Well, like different people that I've met concerning my art piece, they do tell me to move on with it, that my style is unique. Because aside from this, like I said, I'm into mixed media arts. Anything I see around me, that's what I use to depict my work.
Okay.
Like trashes.
Oh, okay.
I have what we call, what's it called? Granite shell, snake shell. That's what I use to depict my own art.
So you're not limited to cardboard. Do you
Yes.
also do art on canvas as
Yes,
well and
sir.
paint?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's take a look at that one, which I can tell already that is makoko. Am I correct? Is that
Yes.
makoko? Let me have that now. Now taking a look at, I think this is my best piece here. It's the boats, the little makeshift houses on top of water. Did you have to go to these environments to be able to visualize and put on pen to cardboard?
I have a brother that have this picture. So anytime I see it, when I was learning from him, because I do study what he paints on canvas. So I now use that idea to bring out my own concepts.
Wow, that is very beautiful. Let's talk about people, the appreciation people have for your paintings. Do you sell them?
Yes.
And how much could a painting like this go for? Or an artwork? Let me call it an artwork since it's not really a painting, it's actually ink. How much do they go for?
Some are like 150, while some are 120 upward.
Wow, that's good money. For a week of work, I think, yeah, I'd do that. Now, this one's got plenty of meaning, and I'm going to let you define exactly what it means. Yes. I can see you shaking your head in satisfaction of me recognizing that. So let's take a look at this one. 3 faces, the one in the middle, there's tears running down that face, and the other 2 are smiling. It's kind of like smiling and suffering for me.
Yes.
Am I correct? Very expressive, isn't it? Smiling and suffering. I got it right off the bat. I had not been told what it was called, honestly. But talk us through this.
The reason why I titled this work Suffering and Smiling is because of one great artist, a musician. That's our legend, Mr. Fela.
Yes, indeed.
I use his own title of his music to depict this. So anytime I listen to that, Suffering and Smiling, it gives me joy to express myself. Because if you look at a child, once you give birth to a child, he's going to cry. He or she will cry. That one is sure. And once he started growing up gradually, he will start playing with his colleague or her colleagues. So that's the second one. And before you know it, it will get to this old man.
Yeah, I can see that with the mustache and the beard.
And he will be smiling or still thinking of how to achieve more. So that's why I titled it.
That's beautiful. So how do you push your art? Where do you do exhibitions? Do you use social media? What's your means of propagating what you do?
Well, I do exhibit my work either online, that's social media, or a group exhibition, like the one I'm having very soon. I'm the one that do organize some exhibition, and I have some group of exhibition too, like SNA. We do October Rain, so I do join them for that, and other ones like that. Of recent, I did one with Celebration.
Okay.
That's last year. So
I'm sure this one was a signature for your
I have another separate work for Celebration.
Oh, that's grand, man. Fantastic artwork, fantastic pieces here, fantastic personality. And I do look forward to seeing more of this, and also perhaps maybe coming for some lessons myself. Sheriff Dean, you are an exceptional artist, and I hope to see more of your work, and also would like to see them here on Wake Up Nigeria. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you, sir.
Do stay tuned. We've got more coming your way inside of Wake Up Nigeria for a Thursday edition. We'll be right back. And you're welcome back. Second hour here for a Thursday edition on Wake Up Nigeria. We love the second hour. It's your favorite feel-good family breakfast show. Specifically, we designed this just for you, and the energy that we bring is always heightened inside of the second hour because the fun never stops.
Yes, of course. It's still Wake Up Nigeria right here. Welcome to the second lap of a great television experience. We intend to be more than enough to keep you occupied as you go about starting your day.
Yeah, we're not hoping that you're actually going out because it's still the first week of January, so who wants to go out? Stay home.
Walking.
No,
Are you not walking?
This is my lot in life. This is what I chose. But for you guys who are lucky out there to have an entire week as a holiday, kudos to you.
Yeah.
For the next 45 minutes, we have it all. Food, you know, great entertainment, some news, and maybe even the weather. Some health tips to go as well. Plenty of art coming since the Thursday.
Yes. Oh, art's come. And you know, no other show does it quite like us this morning. We have had a whole hour of it, and of course, still more to come, as he said, especially in the kitchen, because we have so much going down there. Our native rice is brewing. Okay,
as you said, native. I can smell that real cultural, traditional type cooking going on. I like it. It smells like somebody's obi. Nice. You guys call it obi? The kitchen area in a village. No, you're not Igbo.
I'm not Igbo. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Who's you guys?
Yeah, well, Edo people. You must have a name for it.
It's a kitchen.
Okay.
It's the ka-chang.
We promise you that, hey, it's going to be a good one. More still to come here. My name is Mazina Appeal.
My name is Winfrey Agbelesh. You can watch us live on GOTV channel 27 and on UHF band 49. Of course, download the TVC app on both the Android and iOS stores. And you can watch us from anywhere in the world.
Remember to follow us on social media. We're at TVC Connect on all the platforms. Send in your comments using the hashtag
Wake Up Nigeria!
on TVC.
You've seen that thing where you're driving and then you're trying to overtake somebody and the person is actually very chilled and then the person sees that you're trying to overtake him or her and then they now accelerate.
Always happens. I have a personal experience from over the holidays.
And then and you know how wicked that can be.
Yeah. And dangerous.
And dangerous.
Yeah.
So just this morning, it happened. I'm getting onto the road and then I look down. I see like 5, 6 cars. Just, I don't know whether it's one in front that's causing it, but there's one in front, one in the middle. They're just trudging. And then I just tried to look at and then there's one keke that just said to drop somebody else. So, that keke, something worry you. Charlie's guys are just strolling. Then the guy just in front of me is even strolling the wall. So there's even space between him and then the 5 cars in front, or him or her and all that. So I don't look. No, this guy here thinking that I'm just thinking of whoever he or she is. Meanwhile, I have 2020 vision.
2023.
I'm looking ahead. You understand? And so when I just saw space, there's a bend coming up, and I know that I have a short time before that bend. I just move out. And then this winch now decides to accelerate.
My
Like
wife,
thinking I'm trying to come in front of him or
yeah.
her. Not knowing that I'm aiming higher. And so it now blocks the space, not knowing that I'm going. Right? And so I'm moving
wife
forward.
said something to me,
But I think about that. What if there was a car coming? And then this guy, it's dangerous. If you are not, it's same thing as when you see somebody coming out of an intersection. Then you not decide that that's the time that, my accelerator is not
Let me
working.
test
well.
it.
Let me test
I was
it.
driving along Lekki Expressway and there was traffic and I indicated to move to the next lane and my wife says, oh, no, don't use your indicator. And I'm like, that's the way we've been conditioned as Nigerians.
Why? Don't use it.
Don't use it because if you do, you're telling the other guy that you want to go into his lane and you're giving him the opportunity to...
So
You are supposed to use your indicator.
Yes,
That's
supposed
proper driving.
I'm telling you.
I'm
I
trying to
just
come in
think
your
it's
lane.
funny. I just think generally, Lagos or Nigerian drivers are just funny. That thing you see, it doesn't make sense. Then there's also the one of where you see a car like speeding and then passing you, and then you look next to you, start like it's now a race. That thing always happens to my husband because he drives a very fast car, and I'm like, why are you people? What's the problem?
They're driving with shit
Yeah,
up.
you're just like, I'm like, what's that? What's going on?
If you see that guy driving, don't go. Okay, Asha.
Tell you guys what we're going to do. Let's start the hour with the weather, and then we'll be back with plenty more we've got in store.
The news once again, I'm Mike Messicano. The Department of State Services arrested the mastermind of last Thursday's attack near the palace of the traditional ruler of Ebira land. In a statement by the spokesman of the service, Peter Afonaya, it said an ISWAP commander, Abdul Mumuni Ibrahim Otaru, is responsible for the vehicle-borne improvised explosive device that went off near the palace of the Ohinoi of Ebira land in Kogi State. He and his associate, one Saidu Suleiman, are being treated for gunshot wounds after they were arrested by operatives of the service on Tuesday. According to the statement, the ISWAP commander was also behind other attacks, including the attack on the police area command in Eika, Ohizenyi in Okehi local government council of the state on June the 24th last year, where a police inspector Idris Musa was killed and 2 AK-47 rifles carted away. The statement adds that the terror kingpin operated terrorist cells in and around Kogi State. Earlier, And then on to issues concerning election, where the plans to scamper the general election by removing the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, from office was unsuccessful on Wednesday as the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory quashed the allegations of false asset declaration against him. In his ruling, Justice M.A. Hassan, in his judgment, consequently barred security agencies from investigating the INEC chief over his valid assets declaration. The judgment was in respect of an originating summons filed by Somadina Uzoabaka against the Attorney General of the Federation and Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. The petitioner also sought an order of the court stopping the INEC chairman from holding or assuming any public office for a period of 10 years. Professor Yakubu, who in his response to the allegations furnished the court with several exhibits to show the sources of money for the purchase of the properties which the petitioner alleged were illegally acquired, and insisted that his asset declarations were validly done. The judge, Justice M.A. Hassan, found that the declaration of assets by Professor Yakubu was lawful, valid, and in compliance with the law, that he cannot be investigated by any of the security agencies listed by the claimant, that should all investigate him. In preparation for the forthcoming elections, the INEC Commission has received the last consignment of the bimodal voter accreditation machines. The Commission's chairman, Professor Yakubu, the national commissioners and senior officials were at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja to receive the BVAs. To facilitate the smooth delivery of the machines, the Commission created 4 airport hubs in Abuja, Kano, Lagos, and Port Harcourt. Over the last 4 months, several flights delivered the BVAs to the designated airports for the movement to states ahead of the elections. With the arrival of the last flight in Abuja, the Commission has now taken delivery of the required number of the BVAs for all the polling units in the country. And then on to foreign news, 35 people have been killed in a double car bombing in central Hiram province of Somalia. 2 cars packed with explosives were simultaneously detonated in Mahas, a town where a major offensive was launched last year against the Al-Qaeda-linked militant group. The militant group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibilities for the attack. The district commissioner of Mahas town said his home and that of a local MP were the targets. The deputy police commissioner of Hishabel State, Hassan Kafi Mohammed Ibrahim, said most of the dead are civilians, mostly women and children. Al-Shabaab has been losing ground in recent months after President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud pledged total war against the Islamist militants in August, following an attack on a popular Mogadishu hotel, which saw more than 20 people die.
And you're welcome back on the couch here with us for our final segment. And today on the couch we have Cynthia Ebiche. She's an actor who started her acting career in 2018 and has so far starred in so many movies and TV series, especially those series. We'll get to talk about them.
Yep. Series like Young Nikita, Small Chops. Oh, I like that. I like the way that sounds, and even more fair.
Yeah.
It's great to have you. You're welcome.
Cynthia,
Small Chops,
welcome.
you look portable, like something you can just.
Oh, Mike, right off the bat. But it's funny, Cynthia, that he should say that.
Yeah.
Because when I checked up on you, Cynthia, right next to you was the category acting age. And it
Yeah.
said 13 to 22.
yeah.
May I ask, you're an actress. I mean, we got to know. How old exactly are you?
Oh, I'm 23. I'll be 24 by June.
But you can act characters 10 years younger than you.
Yeah.
Now, that's very,
Yes,
very
you can.
interesting.
I mean,
Because you, from My Siblings and I, you were that little girl.
Yeah, I play the cousin on the show. all the
Exactly.
time, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're not that young when it
Exactly.
comes to comparing you with the character. How does that work? How do you deconstruct who you are and reconstruct a personality that's 10 years younger than you are?
Yeah, I mean, it's just my body, right? I can't really control my body.
It's working well for you
Yeah,
in the
so
art.
I can't get
but you
bigger.
actually can.
Really?
Beans.
I have tried.
That's what they said. Don't mind me.
No, but I have tried really.
I'm
I've
just
tried
kidding.
to eat like the whole world. I actually eat a lot. Like, yeah, actually,
This
I
life is
eat
not
a lot.
balanced.
It's not. If I tried that, I'd have a pot belly.
I'm telling you, because you actually, I know people that are like that. Whatever
Yeah.
they do, they are how, and you're like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like,
you
it's
eat a lot.
crazy. Yeah, I
What's
do.
your diet like every single day? How do you just?
I don't have a diet.
Your
I just
average
eat
normal day.
whatever I see.
Anything you just eat.
Yes, exactly. And then sometimes I even try to eat more than normal, and I still remain like this. Like, it's crazy. Yeah.
So, when it comes to choosing the characters that you play,
Yeah.
does that play a role as well? Do you say, hey, I want a particular character because it suits what I look like or what people think what the age people think I am? Or do you just, what kind of characters do you go for?
Oh no, actually, I don't choose my character based on my looks. Usually, like, the producers, when they reach out to me, they already know how I look like. So they already, like, yeah, give me a role that suits me, and then they just let me know, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. So what I actually pay more attention to is the kind of roles they want me to play, right? So
What's your preference?
I don't have a preference. That's the thing. I like to do everything. I want to know I'm able to do every other thing aside just one thing. I don't want to be, stereotyped.
yeah.
Exactly.
But I can't make you a serial killer now.
There you go.
Yeah, but that is possible.
And you would like that challenge,
Yes, and
wouldn't you?
I would. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
This one, it comes, are there people that are like you? Like, so I don't want to say competition, but do you have, people who look like you, who
might be cast for the same
who might
role.
be cast for the same
Oh,
role and all
yes,
of that?
I
And how
do.
do you
Stand
deal?
out.
Yeah, how do you deal in situations like that? How do you get to stand out?
I do actually. So I don't want to say competition either, but like
You say it is competition. It's competition. In fact, let me say competition. That's like it is what it is.
in the industry currently we have like a lot of teen actors that are actually like adults, but
Yeah.
then they look like teenagers. We have like a circle. We know each other, and then the producers / the industry knows us, right? And then there are male teen actors, and then there are female teen actors, right? And the female, there are some that actually look like me, like in size. But I just know I'm different. Like there's just something about me, right? There's something different about me. Aside how I look, my skin color, my size. There's just something about me, and
We see that. We see
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna go to social media now, and an entry from your page from just an hour ago.
oh my
And
goodness.
now this is what Cynthia said. She said, "I can't believe I'm about to go on live TV without makeup."
Yeah.
My question is there a certain kind of pressure that comes with being a young person in Nollywood and what people see you as outside? Do you have to put up with appearances or no?
Yeah, you have to stay relevant in the industry. Aside that, when I am at home, sometimes because like on the show, people know me on the show, and sometimes I want to go out like anyhow I look, but
Just want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You
But
know.
I am not able to. Like, for example, I was at the airport. Thank God I looked good. But like I was just walking down the aisle, and then there was this lady. She like just started to record me.
That is recording.
Yeah, she just started to record me, and I'm like, Jesus, thank you.
Oh, how do you deal with that? Isn't that like an invasion? You feel like, oh,
Yeah, but there's nothing I can do. Should I go meet her and say, hey, stop recording me? I mean, some
Yes, no,
people
you
do
can't.
that. Some people do that,
You
but I
can't.
really don't want to, offend anybody. And so I just feel like, like, if I'm going out in public, I try to just look decent.
on the other hand, there is you and your mental state, and
Yeah.
when people intrude on that, sometimes I feel that sometimes it could be a bit,
Yeah,
intrusive.
sometimes, yeah,
How do you mentally maintain a poise that is, what's the word now? How do you conduct yourself in that kind of situation? I mean, look at you there. You look like you're wearing a school uniform, by the
Yeah.
way. So young, and nobody would know that you're above 20.
Exactly,
But yeah,
yeah.
how do you take care of these instances mentally?
Mentally, so I am an introvert. I usually don't relate with a lot of people because I don't want to deal with that much energy that I do not want. So when I know that I'm going out, I try to keep to myself a lot, and then I only allow people that, I have observed and see that, oh, this person is a sane person, and this person would, treat me like a civil human being.
I feel
Yeah.
So far, what has been your most challenging role you've
Yeah.
ever done in all that you've done so far? Which has been the most challenging for you?
My most challenging role was actually not the most challenging. Actually, it's just one of them. Small chops. The first scene in the film, I was running, like really running from someone, and I had to like fall down, like really fall down. So like we had like over like 4 takes.
Wow.
So after that scene, I had like injuries on my leg. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's how Hollywood is.
Exactly, like we just
The
have
medals.
4
to-
takes is small, sir. 4 takes is
Yeah.
small. We do like 40. I thought-
Yeah, so and then I had to like really fall so it looks real and the effect is there. So I just had to do it.
New Nollywood, old Nollywood. Now you're a young person, and Nollywood is beginning to actually take so much attention with young people because there's so much content going out there that has to embrace young people who are watching.
Yeah.
We've got different series now. My siblings and I was one of them where the focus was on actually family, and big part of that family was with young people. But how does Nollywood itself treat you as a young person or a new entrant inside of it? Are you in some sort of way, do you feel relegated, or do you feel that it encourages you to do more? Is it building you, or is it like, all these new people, what do people know? What is it like being a young person in Nollywood?
Oh, it's actually great. They don't make us feel some type of way. I don't know. Maybe the jobs I have done, they treat me well, but I can't speak for some other jobs because, like, in this industry, we have like types
Hierarchy.
of hierarchy, exactly. So there are some production companies that's not so great and they don't treat their actors well, and then there's some where they treat every actor, regardless of if you're young or if you're old, you're treated with respect. And I understand what you mean by, oh, I'm a small girl. Oh, you're a small girl. What do you know? You're not supposed to ask for so amount of money. This and
exactly,
that.
you know.
Yeah, it's there. But then at the end of the day, it depends on how you carry yourself as an individual. And also, I'm not a child. I look like a child, but I'm not a child.
And you are
Yeah.
trying to eat and grow out of it, don't you think? What don't you moving forward and all of
Yeah.
that? I know I'd spoken about what you would like to do and all of that, but how would you maintain? How well do you think, or what do you think you would do to maintain relevance over a period of time? Do you
Yeah.
think you might need to evolve? Do you think this role
And in
would
what
keep you
direction?
going? How do you how looking forward 5-10 years down the line? Where
Yeah, I actually see myself doing bigger things 5-10 years from now. My acting career is going really well. I mean, I was here 2019, did you know?
I wasn't here 2019.
Oh yeah, you weren't. It was some other people, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was here 2019, and looking back at how I have grown,
Yeah.
there's a difference.
okay?
Yeah, and I am very sure like 5 years from now as well, it's going to be bigger and better. And also Nollywood is really changing.
Yeah, it is expanding.
Exactly, like it's getting bigger, better, and you know, right now I am in the mainstream actors like
Congratulations
category.
on
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
The roles that
So,
you've taken, the
yeah.
movies you've been in, they are big and they actually have caught the eye of people.
Yeah.
And people are talking about them. So I
Yeah.
bet your character is good. We're not going to see you in a bank 2 years from now, are we?
No.
'Cause that's what young people say. Yeah, my career is good, but then the next you see them in a bank signing checks for
Yeah.
There's
them.
nothing wrong.
There's
Exactly.
nothing wrong, but
You should
There's
do
such
nothing wrong.
a good
Exactly.
career.
I mean, it's possible. I might be, but I don't see myself right now. I don't
Said
see
it.
myself. Yeah.
Yeah. What else would you be doing if you're not acting?
I actually studied accounting in university.
Oh,
Boom, what I say.
Yeah. So it's possible. Like I said.
wait. You have finished university like this?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Of course she has. In any case,
No, because see, when I was in school, yeah, I used to say what you understand what
I
we
get
were doing
you,
in
I get
school,
you,
yeah?
I get you.
But yeah, that's quite something. That's quite something.
now I know that you love Eriga.
Oh my goodness! You
I
have
know.
been doing your research.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
What do you find very entertaining about him?
Actually, it's funny. I knew him before, but like I didn't used to pay attention to him. I feel so bad. But I was watching TV one day and I saw one song he sang, L to the V's or something.
Yeah, that's
and
the
it
one.
was so nice. Like the lyrics, when you're watching something like, wow, this guy is good. Like people need to hear of him more. That's what I think. Yeah, actually, he was really good and I just had to talk about it.
If I put you on the spot and make you do one of his tracks, could you?
No, that's
Very
the only
small.
song I heard.
Come on, anyone? Well, Cynthia, it's been grand having you on here, and I'm
thank
looking
you.
forward to seeing more of you on
thank you.
Nollywood or Netflix or whatever. I hope bigger things and bigger roles for you, and we can't wait to have you back
Definitely.
here again in a couple of months or
Definitely.
years.
I can't
Let's
wait.
feed her. Let's see if she can.
Yeah, we will. But
Add
while
more
we're
weight.
shifting her, while we're feeding her and trying to make her grow bigger,
Yeah.
let's see some of her clips, and then when we get back, we'll be inside the kitchen. Are you there?
Oh, we shot that in 2018. I was 19 years old.
Okay, you
It's
still
weird
look like
because
you're
you look
14.
younger in person.
Yeah, actually.
Than you look on the screen. Very, very interesting. But you're
Yeah.
doing a great job, so
Thank
well
you.
done. So
Thank
we've
you.
been here actually working with Chef Sherity Mott to actually put this amazing meal together. It is village rice with plantain fried with palm oil.
Ooh, nice.
I would like for you to try it and tell us exactly what you think about it. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Do you eat? How often do you eat?
Ooh, I eat a lot.
You eat a lot. Really? Where does the food go?
I don't know.
Question of the century.
For me to be asking that question.
But
Anyways,
Yeah.
my yes, sir, I'm very
Thank
cute.
you. Thank
Go
you.
ahead, give it a try. Tell us what
Yes.
you think. We'd love to know.
Okay.
I bet it's going to be good because, yes, so
We have to pray.
Yes.
Village rice is something I always like to buy when I go out to the eateries. So having it cooked here is
It's actually really nice.
Yes.
I love it.
grand. Chef
It was made all
Shibutimo once
here
again.
in
Yeah.
Nigeria kitchen. All right,
Yeah.
that's good.
It didn't work.
We're good with that. Well done.
It worked. It worked. It worked.
It worked.
See,
Yeah.
wait, they'll sit now. Yeah, see. Ah, it worked now.
Anyways, thank you so much for sticking around with us through the show today. The week is almost over. Tomorrow is Friday, and we're going to have an amazing Friday energetic episode. Of course, we're going to have movies. We may have games if Mazino decides to have Mercy or not. Or not, of course, we have
Let's not forget fashion. That's
as
for you.
well. So make sure you stick around. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.